The reason for this difference between the sense door and the mind door process is apparent. Since door process is aroused by the stimulus of a sense object and exists only in dependence upon such object, it must then lapse if the object ceases to exist. The same is not the case for mind door process, whose object need not be of the present. The different forms of sense door process are due to variation in the duration of the particular stimuli, even if we experience this as varying vividness of perception. The two kinds of mind door process differ because of variation in the clarity of the object. The impulse as it were coming from within. In practice, however, the process which terminates with the javana stage must be experienced as a lack of perceptual clarity in either case. The theory of mental processes was well established in the older Sinhalese commentaries prior to Acharya Buddha Ghosh and Acharya Buddha Datta. It is mentioned in the Vipak Uddhar Katha of Attasalini, the commentary of Dhamma Sangani, the first book of Abhidhamma Pitaka. Bhikkhu Yanamoli writes, an already formed nucleus of the cognitive series based on such Sutta Pitaka material appears in the Abhidhamma Pitaka. In support of this statement, he cites passages from the Vibhanga and the Patthana Pakarana. In fact, almost all the stages of the course of cognition are precisely specified in the Patthana Pakarana, the last text of Abhidhamma Pitaka. The Patthana Pakarana introduces 24 types of relations, Pachaya, which have been illustrated by applying them to the 22 Tik Matika and 100 Dukh Matika. Chitta has been discussed in Anantar Pachay, which has been defined as a type of relation in which the Pachay Dhamma is the preceding factor and the Pachayupanna Dhamma is the succeeding factor. It has been said in the Patthana Pakarana, yesam dhammanam antara ye dhamma upajanti chitta chetasika dhamma tete dhamma tesam dhammanam anantar pachayena pachayo. In the commentary, it is said that a phenomena which conditions another phenomena by virtue of the immediate antecedents to the latter is an anantar pachay. Anantar bhavena upakarak dhammo anantar pachayo. For instance, the example of Sampatishana Citta and Santirana Citta may be taken. When Sampatishana Citta disappears, just after Santirana Citta arises, the Chakkhuviyan, which is immediately followed by the Manodhatu, also extends to the Manoviyan Dhatu, which immediately follows the former in the same relation. Chakkhuviyan Dhatu tam sampayuttikanam cha dhammanam dhatuya tam sampayuttikanam cha dhammanam anantar pachayena pachayo. Manodhatu tam sampayuttikanam cha dhamma manoviyan dhatuya tam sampayuttikanam cha dhammanam anantar pachayena pachayo. It is said in the Abhidhammat Vibhavani that the preceding consciousness is able to cause such states of consciousness as are similar to its own to succeed in the immediately following instant. Attano anurup chitt uppad janan samatthata. In the Patthana Pakarana, the distinction between Manodwar Vīthi and Panchadwar Vīthi has been made, although those terms are not used. Each of the separate functions is shown. This is the best illustrated from the sense door process. Bhavang is known by name, but that name is only used where it is needed to avoid ambiguity. In cases where the same statement can be accurately applied both to Javana and to Bhavanga, the two stages are subsumed as aggregates, or they may be distinguished as skillful aggregates and resultant aggregates. The theory of Bhavanga is, however, fully developed. The ahetuk kriya chit with upekha are termed as panchadwar vajjana. The succeeding sense consciousness are termed the five consciousness and succeeded by the resultant wind element vipak manodhatu, which in turn followed by the resultant mind consciousness element with either neutral or pleasant feeling. After this comes kriya mind consciousness element with neutral feeling. Apart from the last, each of these lasts for only one moment. The Patthana Pakarana itself emphasizes only that karmically active stage arise and persist for a while. It does not specify 7 moments as the maximum duration. It certainly envisages a return to the resultant consciousness. This may be one under the influence of the active aggregates which have just subsided, or it may one of the more long lasting kind. Thus, it can be presumed that the theory of course of cognition was well established in the Patthana Pakarana, the last text of Abhidhamma Pitaka, and it was not the outcome of the commentaries at Kathas written by Buddha Ghosh and Buddha Datta. It is a unique contribution of Abhidhamma philosophy. By this theory of course of cognition, Citta Vīthi, movement and the action of the mind may be understood, or variation in the understanding of the object may be known. Thank you for your hearing this module. I hope that it might have arisen a new thought in understanding of the object, how the objects are being cognized by our mind. Thanks.